What's the most underrated invention in the human history? It's probably not the one you're thinking of. Yet without it, the fashion industry and perhaps much of the civilization would look very different, or at the very least, a lot more naked. Today we are kicking off a brand new series on industrial sewing machines. Throughout the series, we will introduce you to the most commonly used sewing machines, what they look like, what's their function, and what stitches that they create. And those stitches, where are they used? But before we explore the incredible machines that power modern garment factories, we first need to understand where it all began. In the first episode, we'll follow the history of the sewing needle and sewing machines across 20,000 years of human innovation. From the frozen landscape of the ice ages to today's high-tech factories, you'll discover how one simple idea transformed fashion, fueled industry, and quietly helped shape the modern world. Let's dive in. Our story begins long before fashion shows, department stores, or even civilization itself. Before humans built cities or wrote their first words, they solved two of history's greatest survival challenges: controlling fire and making clothing. Fire kept our ancestors alive. Clothing allowed them to leave the warmth of Africa and survive the frozen landscapes of Europe and Asia. Without it, humanity's expansion into much of the world would have been almost impossible. During the last ice age, around 20,000 years ago, our ancestors carved needles from bone and threaded them with animal sinew to stitch together animal hides. These weren't fashion accessories, they were survival tools. A properly sewn fur garment could mean the difference between surviving winter or becoming part of the food chain. Now here's the astonishing part. Imagine squeezing the last 20,000 years into a single day. For most of that day, humans are simply surviving. Agriculture doesn't appear until early evening. The pyramids don't rise until just before midnight. The Roman Empire flashes by in the final minutes. The Industrial Revolution happens in the last few seconds. In other words, the sewing needle is older than almost everything we call civilization. Now stay with that timeline. For almost the entire day, sewing hardly changes. New continents are discovered, civilizations reshape the world. But sewing remains remarkably familiar, adapting only gradually over time. It didn't matter whether you were making clothes for a hunter, a farmer, or the king of France. The job was still the same: one needle, one thread, and the patience to make every single stitch by hand. Then, with just a few seconds left before midnight, everything changes. The Industrial Revolution arrives. Steam engines, powered factories, everything was speeding up. Production was accelerating in every direction except one: sewing. It was the Industrial Revolution's biggest irony. No matter how fast you made the fabric, someone still had to sit down with a needle and thread, stitching every seam by hand. It became the bottleneck of the entire clothing industry. Imagine building a modern supercar, then asking someone to tighten every single bolt with their bare fingers. It simply couldn't keep up, so the race was on. In 1790, Thomas Saint patented the first known design for a sewing machine. It was a brilliant idea, but technology hadn't yet caught up with the vision. A few decades later, French tailor Barthélemy Thimonnier built a working machine and even opened a factory producing military uniforms. Every major technological leap, from weaving machines to computers to artificial intelligence, has been greeted by excitement from some and fear from others. Sewing was no exception. A mob of tailors, fearing the machine would put them out of work, destroyed his factory. Thimonnier died a bankrupt man, but this was only the beginning. The next chapter in the story was written across the Atlantic in America. Three inventors would chase the same dream. One abandoned it, one perfected it, one built an empire from it. Welcome to the birth of the modern sewing machine. The first American lock-stitch machine was devised by Walter Hunt in 1834, but he abandoned it, believing it would cause widespread unemployment. It was Elias Howe who is often credited with the key patent for the modern sewing machine. In 1846, he patented a machine with a grooved eye-pointed needle and a shuttle that created a lock stitch. However, his machine had limitations and he struggled to market it. Then came the great showman and innovator Isaac Merritt Singer. In 1851, Singer patented a machine with a rigid arm, a table to support the cloth, and a foot treadle, a major improvement in usability. His machine was a commercial success, but it incorporated ideas from Howe and others. This led to the sewing machine combination, the world's first patent pool, formed in 1856 to resolve bitter legal disputes. The agreement allowed the industry to flourish, and by 1860, Singer had become the world's largest manufacturer. And that's where the butterfly effect begins. Better sewing machines meant faster uniforms, stronger tents, cheaper blankets, more affordable clothing, and factories capable of producing textiles on an entirely new scale. History isn't always changed by spectacular inventions. Sometimes it's changed by simple tools that quietly make everything else possible. Then, after the Second World War, a new leader emerged, Japan. The next revolution didn't begin with a new stitch. It began with a new way of thinking. When the Second World War ended, Japan was in ruins. Cities had been bombed, factories had been destroyed, resources were scarce. The country couldn't simply outspend or outproduce industrial giants like America. So, Japan chose a different path. If it couldn't build more, it would build better. That philosophy found its way into almost every Japanese industry, from cameras and watches to cars. Sewing machines were no exception. One company that embodied this mindset was Brother. Brother didn't begin by making sewing machines at all. It started as a small family business, repairing them. Day after day, the Yasui brothers took machines apart, discovered why they failed, and put them back together. They learned something that no blueprint could ever teach. Customers don't care how clever a machine is. They care whether it still works after 10,000 stitches. Because reliability isn't exciting until it disappears. That simple lesson shaped everything that followed. When Brother began building its own machines, reliability became the obsession. Every gear had a purpose. Every mechanism was simplified. Every unnecessary failure point was designed out. Other Japanese companies shared the same philosophy. JUKI became famous for industrial machines that could run relentlessly on factory floors, while Kansai Special focused on machines engineered to perform one operation exceptionally well. Instead of asking one machine to do 20 jobs, they built specialist machines that repeated the same stitch thousands of times a day with astonishing consistency. It's a very Japanese idea. Don't try to be good at everything, be exceptional at one thing. And that's exactly where this new series begins. In the episodes ahead, we'll step inside the garment factory and explore the remarkable machines that make modern apparel manufacturing possible. We'll begin with the lock stitch machine, the foundation of industrial sewing, before moving on to chain stitch machines, overlock machines, feed off the arm machines, buttonhole machines, button sewing machines, and many more specialized machines that each perform one job with incredible precision. By the end of this series, you'll never look at a garment factory the same way again. The entry of companies like Brother, JUKI, Kansai Special marked the final chapter in the history we have traced. The journey from the bone needles of the Ice Age to the hyper-specialized computerized industrial machines of today is a testament to human ingenuity. It's a story of brilliant inventors, cutthroat businessmen, and a relentless drive to make the process of creating our clothes faster, easier, and more sophisticated than our ancestors could have ever imagined. If today's episode sparked your curiosity, make sure you join us for the rest of the Industrial Sewing Machine series. In the next episode, we'll meet the lock stitch machine, the king of them all, and discover why it became the foundation of modern garment manufacturing. You won't want to miss it. You just watched another episode of Bite-Sized Knowledge Bombs, brought to you by Blossom 360. At Blossom 360, our mission is to bridge the gap between classroom theory and factory floor reality through immersive industry tours, hands-on training. We give students, entrepreneurs, and future fashion professionals the inside knowledge that most manufacturers never share. If you're ready to understand not just how clothes are made, but why the industry works the way that it does, subscribe and join for more bite-sized knowledge bombs. Give this video a like if you learned something new today, and we'll see you in the next episode.